All right, for In the News, this is a time in the theology to look at theology in the news. And so we delegated out to Bo to find something pretty snazzy in the news that we could talk about. And we're going to spend about 6-7 minutes on in the news. So what'd you come up with, Bo?
Well, I found this article that Pastor Richard sent me and said I should use. And
Good work, Bo. Great job.
it's on Bluey. Have you guys ever watched Bluey?
Yes.
It's a show that I read in the Babylon Bee that parents love and children occasionally enjoy. But there's this article written by, it's in the New York Times, I believe. So the controversy is about Bandit. He's too good of a dad, and he's shaming other dads for feeling bad about how they lack, and it doesn't paint a realistic picture of fatherhood.
Correct.
And we should you don't see the real suffering that happens in parenting by watching Bluey. So, and I noticed that he is a good dad. Even recently, I think he was, according to the Babylon Bee, he was sainted. So
dad shaming is a thing now?
Well, I think that the offense of it is he's not a bumbling idiot like every other show you watch with a dad.
It's true. He's not a bumbling idiot, but he engages constantly in imaginative play, uninhibited imaginative play with his children, which is exhausting.
Yes, it is.
And, I decided at a high school dance that I was never again going to do something that was not authentic. So I just stopped dancing. I don't dance anymore. And I don't care how much pressure anybody puts on me. I'm never going to dance again. And imaginative play is something like that. I engaged in imaginative play constantly as a child. When Jurassic Park came out, I acquired all the Jurassic Park toys that I could. And I came back to school 6th grade, ready to play with my Jurassic Park toys. Turned out everybody had outgrown playing with toys over the summer. And it was quite a bummer. But, I realized imaginative play is dumb and I don't want to participate in it anymore. And I thought I never would have to ever again. And then I had kids. And my kids want me to engage in imaginative play with them. And I tell them, no, this is not authentic to my true self. I can't fake imaginative play with my kids. And so I like to think of myself as a good dad. I'm engaged. I read with them. I watch edifying stuff with them. I protect them from fake Star Wars and stuff like that. But I don't play with toys with my kids.
So I'm getting from this, Neuendorf, that the last great Lutheran existentialist was Kierkegaard, right? I think you might be giving him a run for his money here. I think you might be onto something.
I hope so, because I flatter myself that this is quite a profound thought that I've stumbled upon here, and I think that's the sin of Bluey, that Bandit sets aside his dignity. He sets aside any sort of enjoyment or fulfillment that he ought to find as a dog. And instead allows himself to be tyrannized by the childish desires of his little ones.
We should actually clarify that Bluey is a show about a bunch of dogs, right? Okay. So I don't know if Bo said that before. So I tuned in this morning to YouTube to watch a little bit on it, and there's this 18 or 19-year-old podcaster who was talking about Bluey and how
it's Australian.
Okay, yeah. So I don't know enough about it. I know my kids have watched it a couple of times. But
have you not watched Bluey?
Oh my gosh!
I've watched one segment of it, and I repent. But I was watching this podcast, and he was talking about this morning, and it's basically, right, just for the listeners, my mom, right? So my mom will hear this. But Bluey is a family of dogs, right? And you have what's the name of the dad again?
Bandit.
Bandit, and then Bluey is one of the kids, right? The kid dogs, right?
She's a
And
she. She's not a boy, despite the fact that she's blue. We're breaking up normative gender stereotypes here.
Okay. So, but the fact of the matter is, what you guys are stating is that the criticism of that article that Bo was mentioning is that it's almost too ideal. Him as the dad dog, right? The father figure. He's too ideal. He's too perfect, and so
Yes.
he's not. Well, what is that show? Remember that show that came out a while back? Was it? What's his name? Kevin. It's he's the UPS driver. You know what I'm talking about? That show,
King of Queens.
King of Queens. Yeah, so every program usually has the dad as the bumbling idiot who's just an absolute. He doesn't know how to do anything, and so it's a miracle that he actually has a job. And then the woman runs the household, and he's messing things up all the time, and she's always lecturing him and treating him like a child. And frankly, it's kind of funny to watch a couple episodes, but after a long time, it just gets. I don't know. It's degrading, And I guess that's where this show Bluey is doing the opposite, right?
In a way.
Yeah, but is it really doing something that's the opposite, or is it just taking this to its logical extreme and turning the dad into a childlike person?
Well, I think they make it clear that the dad views the imaginative play as a sacrifice. It's not something that would come naturally to him, but he does it to be a good dad and take care of his kids.
He does it begrudgingly quite often, and he is competent. He's a competent dog who has a job and goes off and then comes back and then enjoys spending time with his children, and is not always burdened by it. But actually, legitimately enjoys spending time with his kids.
See, if it were as simple as that, if it were just he legitimately enjoys spending time with his kids, I'd say, oh, this is great. We've got a positive example of a father in authority over his family who serves his family in love and by being a father. But the way he serves his family in love is by engaging constantly in imaginative play with his kids. So, okay. Couple of days ago, my daughter hoodwinked me into playing with her calico critters with her. I love calico critters. You can find them at Barnes & Noble. All these really lovely little fuzzy animal dolls. Really beautiful. A nice aesthetic to them. But my daughter actually wants to play with them. And so a couple of nights ago, we played Orphans. She made a cave out of a rug, and I was the boy orphan, thankfully, and she was the girl orphan, and I killed a deer, and she cooked the meat, and we had to talk and so on. It was exhausting, and I was able to keep it going for like 20 minutes, and then I had to go do something, and I wiggled my way out of it, but she loved it so much, and she wanted me to leave work, stop everything, and come home when she was ready to play. And okay, I did have another play episode with her, but my goodness, Bluey sets the bar way too high.
Well, I think 20 minutes is pretty good. I give my 2-year-old daughter about 5 minutes before I just start laying there and letting her crawl on top of me, and that's my contribution as I become part of the playscape. So, thank you for shaming me as much as Bluey does, Neuendorf.
Anytime.
Well, we can't forget that these are 7-minute episodes. So really, Pastor Neuendorf is the one who, if they made a film of your life, you set the bar higher than Bandit, I believe. So,
there are a lot of Bluey episodes that are worth a lengthy, serious discussion.
Yeah.
And I don't say that ironically or sarcastically at all.
Well, thank you, gentlemen. So I guess the controversy continues.